Hey everybody, this is Leah Lund, creator of One Whole Health, and I want to welcome you to our first ever Feel Good Friday. This is something new that we're bringing to you from One Whole Health to help you navigate your brain and your mind and prioritize and live the life that you really want to be living. So I want to welcome you here. At One Whole Health, we help you change your brain so that you can stop overwhelm and anxiety and fear and even self-doubt and self-sabotage from getting in between you and the things that mean the most to you in life, your dreams, what you really want. So today I want to share with you a little bit about prioritizing to feel good. And when you read that, you might have thought, well, this is going to be about making self-care a priority and let's make time in the day for self-care. And that's a really, really important thing to do, but that's not what I'm going to be talking about today. Today, I'm talking about actually prioritizing everything in your life, because the act of prioritizing is self-care. It does feel good. So what I mean by that is when you live out of alignment with what's important to you, meaning when you spend more of your time on things that are not important to you and less of your time on things that are important to you, that doesn't feel good. That drains your energy. That makes you contract and constrict, even on a cellular level. And it leads to disease. It leads to depression. It leads to overwhelm. So it doesn't feel good, and life is meant to be enjoyed, and you are meant to feel good. So by prioritizing your day, so in a way what I'm saying is being a good time manager actually makes you feel better, makes you feel happier, and helps you feel good. So we recently did the Reboot Your Brain series, and congratulations and thank you to all of you who attended that. And at the end of the series, we did a survey to see what was important to you. What do you want to learn about? How can I best support you? What kinds of trainings and programs do you want to see? And two of the top requests were for how to focus, training on how to stay focused on what's important to you, and also how to not have time be your excuse because you're feeling that if you adjust things with your time, then you're going to be giving something up. And so that feedback is the exact reason that I created today's very first ever, and we're going to do this every single Friday at 10 a.m. Pacific, Feel Good Friday. And your survey answers inspired the topic of today, which is prioritize in order to feel good. So I'm going to teach you a long-term strategy today for that. And I'm also going to teach you a 30-day strategy, and I'm going to teach you a 1-day, what you can do today to make prioritizing a form of your self-care, a form of what makes you happy and has you feeling good. So let's see, I want to start with talking a little bit about time, and then I'll go into the long-term strategy. But time itself, if that is your major resistance, if any time you are listening to a new idea or a new strategy and it all sounds great, and your but is time related, I want you to know that that really means you have an issue with intimacy. And that's it's both actually, intimacy with yourself, knowing what you really want and being willing to see yourself for who you really are and where you really are in relation to what you really want. And it also, the time objection means that you don't want to get intimate with other people too. You're keeping things at a very surface level because that feels safe. Either you don't know and trust yourself, or you don't know and trust other people, or you think that if you show your real self, you won't be liked, or you won't be appreciated, or you won't be valued. And so anytime your but is around time, then that's what it means. It means on some level you're keeping it surface and you're not digging deep enough to go real intimate to actually sustain and achieve success. So staying busy is the way to stay surface. Like, I'll just stay really, really busy, and then I don't have to think about anything too hard, and I don't have to try to understand at a deeper level, and I'm not ultimately responsible for making my dreams happen or not. And so it feels safer to stay busy and to stay surface, and you're not staying the course. You're not applying the endurance. I was teaching on endurance earlier this week to get to a goal. And typically that's a fear of failure. If I don't go all in and get real intimate with myself and the goal and what's working and what's not, and stay the course, then I won't fail, because I can't fail if I'm not actually doing it. So once you know what you really, really want, once you get intimate with yourself to know what you really, really want, you can shift into looking at how you get there. But first you have to know what you really, really want. You have to dig in deep and get really intimate with yourself and stay with goals until it happens, and stay with priorities and prioritize things around what those actual priorities, what's meaningful to you, prioritizing your day and your time around those things. So I said I was going to give you a long-term exercise, a 30-day exercise, and a 2-day exercise. So I'm going to start with the long-term. Grab a pen and paper, because this truly is long-term. You should probably spend, I'm going to give you 9 questions or 9 areas to ask questions about. And my recommendation would be spend at no less than 1 hour free flow journaling about each of these. So maybe you make it an objective over the next 9 days that you sit down and spend at 1 hour with yourself every day in a certain area, and see what you really, really want. So I'm going to name 9 areas. And the question is really, what would make this area of your life amazing? Like flat out amazing. Another way to ask that question is, if you had all the time and the energy in the world in each particular area that I'm going to name, what would you do? If time, money, energy were no issue, you just could have it all in that area, what would that look like, and what would you do? And by doing this, you're going to be discovering really what you're even on this planet and in this lifetime to do. So spend an hour with each of these areas. I'll name them now. So number 1 is self-love. Number 2 is abundance. Number 3 is relationships. Number 4 is business or career. Number 5 is health and well-being. And these are in no particular order, by the way. Number 6 is contribution to our world and to others. Number 7 is spiritual. Number 8 is your environment. And number 9 is adventure. So self-love, abundance, relationships, business and career, health and well-being, contribution, spirituality, environment, and adventure. Those 9 areas, go any order you want, but spend at least an hour, hopefully over the next 9 days. It may take you longer, but put it on your calendar right now. Make it an appointment with yourself to spend an hour with each of those areas, and ask yourself, how would I rate it? Is it not fulfilling at all? Is that area of your life not fulfilling at all? Is it just okay? Or is it amazing? And if it's anything less than amazing, spend time free flow journaling. What would make it amazing? If time, money, energy were no obstacle whatsoever, what would you want in that area of your life? What would make that particular area amazing? So do the due diligence. This is such an incredible experience if you really do it, and bring it back to this post here on The Brain Coach, Leah Lund, The Brain Coach page on Facebook or on YouTube if you're listening to it on YouTube. Post what you discover with each of those hours of free flow journaling, because when you say it out loud, and that's one way our social media works for us, is we can say something out loud. The minute you do, you've stored it in your cellular memory in a way that can't happen when you're just thinking about it. So share in those areas. That is your longer term focus on identifying your priorities, so that then you can make sure your day, a typical day in the life, matches those priorities. Okay? The next thing I want to do, as I said, we also look at a 30-day strategy. So a 30-day strategy in prioritization is choose one goal that you've been working on. Chances are you've been working on a bunch of different things, a little here, a little there, this and that, trying to do 2 things at once, which never works, by the way. The brain can't really multitask. So choose one priority that you've been working on that is the most important to you right now? The most meaningful? What's something that you've been working on? And this can be anything from potty training your toddler to writing your book to getting in shape and exercising to finding the dog that you want to bring home. Anything, finding a relationship, any area of your life. It doesn't have to be business. Sometimes when we think goals and priority, we automatically go to work and career and business. But it can be any area of your life, but something that's really important to you, that you have a goal that you've been kinda, sorta working on. And for the next 30 days, make that goal your number one priority. It's like all you think about for 30 days. Hold your focus on it. Get really intimate. Be willing to fail in little ways so that you can succeed big time at the end of 30 days. Be willing to identify where you go off track, even your role in it. So maybe where you lose your motivation or forget something or don't plan well, or be willing to truly look at yourself, because there's no failure. Really, there's not. There is either success and there's opportunity to grow and learn something. So create as many opportunities to grow and learn something as you possibly can over the next 30 days. And then rebound. Just say, okay, wow, I didn't know that's why I was going off track. Now I know. Once you know, you can make adjustment. So set that goal, share it with us here on the page, and make it all you think about for 30 days. And don't stop at the first little failure. Expect you'll have 30 failures. You'll have one every day. It's okay. Then you learn something, you adjust, and you keep going. You course correct, and you keep going. My mentor, actually, one of my mentors says that if you're not willing to stick to a goal and get really intimate to your goal, it's because you don't know how much you matter. You matter. The world needs you to be successful with your dreams. The world needs you to be happy. The world needs you to be fulfilled. So get really intimate and really down and dirty personal with you and your goal. Dig into all the crevices. What's going on? What is in the gap between you and success? And do that without judgment of yourself, and don't make it mean anything about you, because it doesn't. It's not personal. It's just a learning opportunity. And no, there's not one successful person on this planet who became successful at birth, who just like came out of the box, successful in an area. Every single person that you look at and admire that is successful in an area of life that's meaningful to you, they had a series of failures that took them there. The only difference between them and you is they kept going. So that's what the 30-day challenge is for you, is to choose one goal and make it your mission for 30 days. Stick with it for 30 days, no matter what happens. Put blinders back on, rebound, upgrade your strategy, and stick with it for 30 days and share. So here is the one-day challenge today. As soon as I'm done here, I want you to close your eyes and just sit for 10 minutes and think about what is something that is really, really important to you right now that you haven't made any time for this week yet. So something that's really important that you've been saying you're going to be doing, you've been making a promise to yourself, haven't been keeping it, and it's Friday, week's almost over, and you haven't spent any time on working toward that at all. Whatever it is, again, it can be business and professional. It could be a conversation you need to have with one of your children you want to have. It could be that you've been saying you're going to give yourself permission to go get a massage. It could be that you need to find out something that's going on with your health. It could be that you've been meaning to change what you eat. It can be anything. But something that's really important to you, and yet you haven't spent any time on it this week at all. Figure out what that is. Take 10 minutes in silence when we get done with this Facebook Live. Figure out what it is. Share what that is, either here on Facebook Live or if you're listening on YouTube, put it there. And then take action on it before the end of the day. Before the end of today, the day that you're listening to this video, take action in that area. That already starts to train the brain to believe that you're going to take action and that you are going to prioritize so you can feel good. So that's a new take for you on prioritizing, probably. The act of prioritizing itself, prioritizing what is important to you, will make you feel good. And that's why you're here. Life is meant to be enjoyed, and you are meant to feel good. And when you follow through on prioritizing what's important to you, it energizes you like you won't believe. And I can't wait to hear about it. So share what you're working on and share how it goes for you, and share if you're struggling. Share what's in the gap. That I can support you that way. If I know what's going on, I can make suggestions. And I also want to ask one other favor. These Feel Good Fridays, this is the first one. We're going to have them at 10 a.m. Pacific every Friday. And please share this video with somebody that you want to make a difference for today. Somebody near and dear to your heart that you want to make a difference for and help them have a more fulfilling life and feel happier on a day-to-day basis. Share this video right now and have them join you in the challenge of prioritizing to feel good. Thanks, everybody.